Welcome back to the channel. Imagine this, a respected police chief, the man tasked with upholding law and order, secretly running a massive drug empire right under everyone's noses for nearly a decade. Sounds like the plot of a blockbuster movie, right? Well, this shocking tale is all too real. Today, we're diving into the unbelievable story of a police chief whose double life as a drug kingpin shattered the trust of an entire community and sent shockwaves across the nation. Grab a seat, because this story has twists and turns you won't believe. To the people of Millstone, a quiet, close-knit town, the name Chief John Sanderson was synonymous with integrity and justice. Chief John Sanderson joined the local police force in the early 2000s and quickly climbed the ranks. His peers admired his work ethic, and his community respected his dedication to public safety. By 2010, Chief John Sanderson was appointed police chief, becoming the face of the department. He was the kind of leader who attended neighborhood watch meetings, hosted charity events, and gave speeches at local schools about staying away from drugs and crime. He seemed to embody everything a small-town police chief should be, but beneath this polished exterior, Chief John Sanderson was harboring a dark secret. It started small, an occasional deal here and there, connections with local dealers. But as the years passed, Chief John Sanderson's illegal side hustle grew into a full-fledged drug operation. He had something most criminals could only dream of: insider knowledge of law enforcement tactics. Chief John Sanderson knew how to avoid suspicion and stay ahead of investigations. With his badge as a shield, he quietly built a drug empire, smuggling and distributing narcotics across state lines. And for nearly a decade, he got away with it. Despite his best efforts to maintain a facade, some signs of Chief John Sanderson's double life began to emerge. His lifestyle started raising eyebrows: luxury cars, high-end vacations, and expensive renovations on his modest salary. When questioned, Chief John Sanderson dismissed the concerns, claiming his wife's successful business ventures funded their lavish lifestyle. The town believed him. After all, why would a police chief, of all people, be involved in crime? This is someone who was known to pay for people's groceries if they were short on funds, if he was standing in line. He would host food and toy drives whereby he would give healthy donations to various nonprofit causes in the town. By 2017, the FBI had begun noticing inconsistencies in Millstone's drug-related cases. Despite multiple arrests, the drug trade in the region showed no signs of slowing down. Informants hinted at someone high up protecting the operation, but they were too afraid to name names. After months of investigation, the FBI started to suspect that the police chief himself might be involved. It sounded absurd, but the more they dug, the more they realized the unthinkable might be true. Building a case against someone like Chief John Sanderson wasn't easy. He was careful, calculated, and always one step ahead. But the FBI was determined. They wiretapped phones, tracked financial transactions, and even placed an undercover agent in his department. What they uncovered was staggering. Chief John Sanderson was using his position to shield his operation, tipping off dealers about raids, and even using police equipment to transport drugs. His empire extended far beyond Millstone with ties to major drug cartels. In late 2019, the FBI finally had enough evidence to move in. Early one morning, agents raided Chief John Sanderson's home, office, and several properties connected to his operation. The evidence they found was overwhelming: cash hidden in walls, detailed records of drug transactions, and stolen police equipment. Chief John Sanderson was arrested and charged with drug trafficking, money laundering, and obstruction of justice. Court records show that it was estimated the Chief John had amassed well over $1.2 billion. Unbeknownst to his wife, Chief John had created a subsidiary business under his wife's business and was funneling his funds through that business as real estate transactions. The whole town was in disbelief. Their trusted chief of police was at the center of a criminal empire. Chief John Sanderson's trial was a media sensation. Prosecutors painted a damning picture of a man who had betrayed his oath and his community. Witnesses included former associates, officers who unknowingly aided his operation, and even members of the cartel who testified against him in exchange for leniency. Chief John Sanderson's defense team argued that he was coerced and trapped in a dangerous world, but the evidence was too strong. The jury didn't buy his excuses. In 2021, Chief John Sanderson was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison. The judge called his actions a disgrace to the badge and a betrayal of the public trust. For the community of Millstone, the sentence brought some closure, but the damage to their trust in law enforcement was immeasurable. Residents spoke about the ripple effects of his actions. With drugs flooding the town, addiction rates soared, families were torn apart, and local businesses struggled to survive as crime rates increased. The scale of Chief John Sanderson's operation was staggering. FBI reports revealed that his network was responsible for moving hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of drugs every month. Using his police connections, Chief John Sanderson coordinated shipments, ensured safe transport routes, and provided cover for his dealers. In some cases, he even used police vehicles to move narcotics, making it nearly impossible for anyone to suspect foul play. Chief John Sanderson wasn't just a participant, he was the mastermind. His operation extended to neighboring states, with ties to larger drug cartels operating internationally. Investigators believe his empire might have continued to grow if it hadn't been for a single informant who risked everything to expose him. One of the most compelling aspects of this case was the role of a whistleblower who finally broke the silence. This individual, a junior officer in Chief John Sanderson's department, began noticing discrepancies in reports and missing evidence from the evidence room. When their concerns were brushed aside, they decided to contact federal authorities anonymously. Their courage set the FBI's investigation in motion, but it came at great personal risk. As one agent put it, blowing the whistle on a police chief isn't just career-ending, it's life-threatening. To this day, the whistleblower's identity remains protected, but their bravery ensured that justice was served. After Chief John Sanderson's arrest, the town of Millstone faced an uphill battle to rebuild trust in its law enforcement. The new police chief, Ellen Reyes, immediately implemented sweeping reforms. Reyes invited community leaders to participate in oversight committees, increased transparency in departmental activities, and ensured every officer underwent ethics training. "We can't undo the past," she said at her swearing-in ceremony, "but we can build a better future together." As for Chief John Sanderson, he's currently serving his 25-year sentence in a federal penitentiary. Reports suggest that he spends most of his time in isolation, as his past as a police officer makes him a target among other inmates. In interviews with investigative journalists, Chief John Sanderson has expressed little remorse. Instead, he has deflected blame, claiming he was a product of a corrupt system. But for the people of Millstone, his words ring hollow. For them, Chief John Sanderson's actions were a betrayal that can never be fully forgiven. Chief John Sanderson's case isn't an isolated incident. It highlights a broader issue of corruption within law enforcement and the challenges of holding those in power accountable. This story is a tragic reminder of how greed and power can corrupt even those sworn to protect us. But it's also a testament to the resilience of a community that refused to let one man's betrayal define them. What are your thoughts on this shocking case? Do you think enough is being done to prevent corruption in law enforcement? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to hear more stories like this one, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay informed, stay compassionate, peace.